As I learned, McConnell doesn't want the fake impeachment, the fake second impeachment trial to go forward before the 19th of January. He wants Biden to be unlawfully, of course, I might add, put in the White House in their fraud first, because he wants that crap in his back pocket to have the confidence he needs to do more crimes on President Trump than they've already done, him and Nancy Pelosi and all their satanic gang of Satanists. That's what they are. There's no doubting that they're into Satan. They are, because nobody can go this far to injure a seated president and to stalk and enslave a seated president without being part of Satan. I'm not joking. That's not even. They are defying all the laws under the common law in this United States, which means they're not of God. They're not using common law. They're using fraud and crimes, sedition, treason, crimes. They will go to prison, and they don't think they're going because, like I said, criminals do everything really fast. And they think that they have to get it all done right now, just like my perpetrators in the kidnapping where they tried to cut the babies out of me and didn't stop to think that everything can be proven that they have done. They literally, to give you an example, my kidnappers even put in the records, in their own falsified records, their plans of what they planned to do to me, which was get my blood and taint my blood for drugs. I'm not joking. And taint the labs that came in clear already when they took my blood without my permission, violated Fourth Amendment, told me they would only let me go from the kidnapping if I gave them blood, literally. And of course they didn't let me go from the kidnapping because it was a kidnapping. They probably drank my blood. I'm not joking. They are very satanic, evil people. Anyone who can harm babies in a woman's womb and a pregnant woman is beyond satanic. So my point here is Nancy Pelosi and McConnell think that if they begin the fake fraud under color of law, slavery, look of a trial, fake look, because it's all fraud. It's not real. It's not real. This stuff is fake, and they're doing stuff under the color and guise of law. And in order, they keep enslaving the president. It is slavery. I don't care what anybody says. It is slavery to keep somebody under like this, and we're gonna do what we want with you, is slavery. And they have the freaking nerve, after doing it to me for so long, the deep state, of doing it to the president. Of course, they don't want him to see my case. My case is the reason why this shit is coming at the president. It is. And I find it very interesting, not only media concealed everything for the past 4 years, that they have knowledge of what happened to me and these babies, direct knowledge. I told them face to face, some of them. But the ones who got the reports, Durham, if his security didn't hide the report, it was FedEx to him. I have the receipt. Who else I just sent another one to, I think, Lynn Wood. I faxed Lynn Wood. I don't know what he's done with it, but at any rate, there are people that know what's happening to me. The babies and I are withstanding everything, whether it's a plan for them to help me after, everything's secure with President Trump and all this crap goes away. You know what I mean? Me and the babies are suffering, withstanding the time, and we are still here. We're fine, but the babies are much smaller, unfortunately. My point here is that McConnell, who thinks that he's got the back pocket filled if he sticks the fake president in, because it isn't, Biden is not the president. Biden did not win. Piracy does not mean that pirates own a ship if they steal a ship. Okay, just use that analogy. The pirates can go to any place they want and claim that they own the ship, but they don't really own the ship. They stole the ship. So it's not really their ship that they're using. That's what you have to keep in mind to get through the confusion that the media and the coup d'etat committers are doing. Just keep that phrase in your mind. They're pirates. And they don't care what they do to the American public. They don't care that they're making us suffer. They don't. They don't care. They don't see it. They only see their agenda of more baby eating, baby selling. And I'm not joking. They see their agenda. Because President Trump, in his executive order in December 2017, put an executive order that anyone who shall traffic, anybody, including the Epstein people, that all the tons of people with him, the Clintons, they have to have their assets frozen. They're in the middle of uncovering all this stuff that's been coming out for years. And my case is not removed from what she has done. Just letting you know why it's being covered up. The money behind covering it all up. It's just I speak. I don't shut up. Well, I'm trained, and as an investigator, former intern investigator and paralegal and psychology major and soldier. I'm not going to shut up. That's not happening. Because any time in my psychology training, of course, fear is the biggest factor per my psychology training that is used to get people to change their testimony. And so I don't ever change my testimony. And mind you, I don't really feel fear. I don't have that kind of, I don't know what happened where in the stuff that I had to investigate, which was very, very deep state stuff. I don't know, and even being a victim in it and having to investigate my own cases, having the standing to challenge because no one lawyer and nobody will help me investigate. So I survived through my own investigations and I am qualified to do that, trained very well. It's not that I don't have fear. I do know when I have to have concern for something, but I don't feel the actual, when you feel fear, you kind of get, cold. Those feelings that you get with fear, I don't get them. They don't exist in me. I don't know what happened. The amygdala, something happened. So, at any rate, while McConnell thinks he's got this coup d'etat in his back pocket, and he wants the confidence of Biden sitting in the White House or wherever before they do more to President Trump. That's the only reason he wants to wait. But I'm going to tell you something. He also wants to do it so nobody sees. We won't be able to see anything. They're trying to depend on doing everything in secret. However, I predict that President Trump is going to get much stronger between now and the 19th. That's coming in a few days. And I want to tell everybody something. It's very important I tell people something right now about myself. I mentioned martial law because I know I'm probably one of the only people, beside President Trump, in this country to have withstood the deep states and such horrible crimes, more crimes than I'm letting you know. And I didn't do that by accident. I didn't do that by I didn't survive everything I survived by not taking certain measures. I don't own a gun. I don't want guns in my household, even though I'm a trained soldier. I don't believe in putting a gun in my own household, although I do believe in, the Second Amendment. It's just a personal thing for me. By the way, if I would have owned a gun, my perpetrator's deep state would have said I did something wrong with it. They've already tried to frame me like that, but see, the problem was I don't own anything like that. And they've done more to try to frame me, and I'm not joking, and they failed there too. And I might add, always keep your receipts when you go to the store. I don't care if it's a piece of gum that you chew. You need to keep every receipt. I've kept every receipt, and when they tried to frame me a few times, I had the receipts for where I was. Anyway, so I have every receipt. Every receipt. They may be crumbled by now, whatever, but I have every receipt in little manila folders. I have everything. From 1994. No joke. Anyway, so what I see is President Trump may get stronger. Here's my opinion on martial law. Like I was saying, I do believe in martial law to a limit, to a point. Used in the most extreme cases only. And that time is now. That time should have been 6 weeks ago. Because For myself, I don't believe in putting the public through what we are going through. I know more than myself. People sit up and they can't sleep at night. You see these bags? You see that? Because we wonder about the fate of this country, the fate of your families. And myself, I don't believe that the public should be put through that. Now, whatever strategy President Trump is using, I love my commander-in-chief and his family. I support him 100%. I personally would have used a different strategy. I would have done martial law the minute that I knew that got the evidence of that stuff was done on the machines. I would have used martial law for about 3 or 4 days, shut the whole shit down, brought in the whole military. I don't give a shit if it's 1 million members of the military, and we would have snatched every machine in each one of those states. Yes, we would have. And I know who I would have had arrested immediately, forthwith. Let me tell you something. If a judge was doing correct under the law, then fine. But where I would have found a judge committing conspiracy against rights of citizens, the judge would have been arrested. Period. There wouldn't be any questions asked. Because I look at it this way, unlike me, where I didn't get to prove any of my cases because each time I try to do an appeal or anything in the kidnappings, I get more kidnappings done, or attempts. So they keep me from testifying as to matters that happen, which is why I sit here now before you telling you things as public, telling the public that I would not hesitate in 2 seconds to have done martial law, seized those machines, had them thoroughly audited, thoroughly, literally preserved for chain of custody. Every one of the machines used. I don't care if I had to go to every state and gather them up. That by the time I got done, no judge would dare dismiss and not look at any evidence. It only takes the arrest of one judge who does the crimes to let all the other judges know you don't screw around. Not now. Not in this series of things going on where the public has been affected. So that would be that's my take on everything with martial law. I do believe in martial law limited. I would have, just for a few days, did what I had to do and put enough soldiers out there to get the hell done what we had to do and let the judges know you want to commit crimes, under color of law. Conspiracy against rights of citizens under Title 18, Section 241, judges are not immune to that. They're immune to a hell of a lot, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they get away with so much crime, corruption. But what I would have done was use the law where it applies and let them know. I would let them know what time it is and don't screw around anymore. As far as the justices saying that one state, I think Texas, didn't have legal standing to challenge, well, I saw the Constitution. It is true. It is unfortunate that happened, that opinion had to come out, but they didn't lie in that, I don't feel, because the Constitution left no way for any state to repair the damage of any other state. They didn't. In other words, in the states holding their own types of elections, and that must be fixed with amendment coming, we have to amend that. And the states have to have a uniform code to do elections now because it should be challengeable. Governors should have standing to challenge from each state. That if you screw around in a few states and you cause the damage to other states, yes, we should have the remedies, and it's just not there. So that is why that they lack standing to challenge Texas challenging the other states, because the states have the right to conduct their own elections, unfortunately. And that actually, just for maybe the presidential election, that has to be amended and changed. I'm not against martial law respected to when severe crimes have been committed upon this United States in violation of Title 18, Section 514.3, crimes, falsifications of records, and fraud upon the United States. That, and treason, sedition, that should have been To me, to my opinion, President Trump, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. I'll never doubt my commander-in-chief. I'm just saying I would have done it differently, and I wouldn't have let this stuff go on so long. I wouldn't give an inch. I don't. He's got another strategy, but he's very strategic. My commander-in-chief. He is just amazing at strategy. Me, trained a certain way, I would have just probably put the troops on the ground and gone in and done what I had to do to stop immediately the stuff from continuing. Now, my commander-in-chief is probably better strategically trained as far as looking to see, maybe there was something he wanted to avoid, and that's why he didn't do the martial law. Like I said, limited martial law for those states who were committing crimes, just martial law to the people that were committing those crimes, respective to who needed to be arrested. The people that were taking out ballots from under tables, anybody who participated in that, the covering up of the windows, not letting poll watchers watch, that person would have gone to jail. There would be no appeal. There would not be any, or I'd make it limited, no appeal for a short amount of time until we can get everything investigated. Okay. Like I was saying, if the people that would have gotten arrested could prove their innocence, although the burden is upon whoever makes the arrest to prove the case, if there was reasonable doubt, it would have been found. Reasonable doubt meaning if they had a shred of evidence that would have shown they were not guilty, they would go free, of course. But of course, that evidence that would have been held for chain of custody, examined, and used in the trials of the guilty people the machines would have been brought to court. I would have done subpoenas, bring the machines with you. In this case, what I would have done is I would have snatched up the evidence and held it for chain of custody until those trials would take place. And they wouldn't have gotten a chance to shred any kind of evidence because their asses would have been in prison, not able to appeal in military tribunal, and would have just gone through the cases. And as far as the election goes, the recounting of the ballots, I am one that would have believed that I would have argued differently than some of the attorneys. I would have argued what I was trained in school, void ab initio. The first count of fraud in something, it makes everything void. I would have went in that direction. I would have asked for re-election. Let's do the whole damn thing over. I would not have spent the time to, now don't get me wrong, I think every single thing done, and a lot of work was done in trying to find ballots, and that's great. That I saw that. I'm gifted. Military knows that, which is why they bother me, why they did shit to me. But anyway, I was able to predict the ballots in the barrels weeks ahead of time, and I put that on the internet, and people saw that. They saw that I predicted ahead of time, and they put up a like or whatever, and when the barrels were found. But I even got a fake ballot. My mother got a fake ballot. We didn't request those ballots in the mail. It had Biden's picture on it, a big blue fake ballot. Come on. I just would have done things just a little differently. I'm sure that my commander-in-chief sees something behind something, or he would have done like I'm saying. There's stuff I can't see that he knows behind the scenes that would have happened if he had done martial law. So I can't question my commander-in-chief's judgment because he's more skilled than I am by far. And but I just want to let people know I'm extremely experienced in surviving deep state matters. Organized really bad. It's real bad. It was. So I would have done different. And what I see now coming is McConnell wants Biden in place for when McConnell puts more fake charges. My commander-in-chief, if I could say this, sir, if you're listening, I don't know if you'll ever get this message. You need to act fast. I'm extremely experienced with the deep state. I'm not sitting here surviving for nothing. I've survived 20 years. I've been shot with poison government pellet. I have took that shit right out of my own back. I still have shrapnel coming out. You can still see it. The CID refused to remove the shrapnel and take it for chain of custody evidence. It's still in my back, coming out in pieces. It still comes out. It's been since 2012. I still have stuff. You can see it on the top of my skin. I have pictures of the metal coming out. All I can say is this: do not let the deep state get away with. If you can stop them from getting away with something, do stop it. It's that much less that you have to deal with. That is why I said I would have used martial law for a limited number of days and confiscated all the machines and held them for chain of custody in a very guarded, armed, guarded warehouse or something, specifically. I would have done that. But like I say, if my commander-in-chief ever gets this video, I don't think he ever will, because, you know, I don't think he'd ever see this. But right now, there are about 4 days left to do what needs to be done as far as making sure that no more crap goes on. No more crap goes on to you, sir, if he happens to see this, when McConnell starts his crap with Nancy Pelosi and the fake impeachment that is a coup d'etat. In other words, don't wait till Biden sits in the White House. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay? Even though Nancy Pelosi backed herself into a corner and all those people from the mob, as they call it, and it was a mob, and it is disgraceful that what they did to the Capitol, but those people were mostly Antifa people. And there was one man on video, I don't know if anybody saw it, he claimed to have gotten paid. He needed to be located, arrested, and he has to testify as to who paid him. So, measures have to be taken right now to stop whatever's going to happen when Biden gets in that White House. Unlawfully, constructively, meaning all made up. Bye.